Before you see the most famous dome in the world, you will see them. 16 colossal columns of solid granite standing like ancient sentinels from a single 60-ton block of stone standing 39 feet tall. These seem utterly immovable, as if they erupted from the very bedrock of Rome. They came from a place over 1,000 miles away, and their story is one of the most audacious feats of logistics and raw power in human history. Each of these monolithic giants began its life in a remote quarry in the eastern mountains of Egypt. Roman engineers and laborers, toiling under a brutal sun, carving these 60-ton cylinders from the earth. Once freed, each massive column was dragged over 60 miles on massive wooden sledges to the banks of the Nile. There they waited for the spring floods. When the river was high enough, the columns were loaded onto specially built barges and floated downstream, a slow, precarious journey to the coast. At the Mediterranean, they were transferred to colossal vessels for the perilous sea crossing to Rome's port of Ostia. But even then, their journey wasn't over. They were moved back onto barges, pulled up the Tiber River, and finally dragged through the crowded streets of Rome to this very spot. Modern engineers still debate the exact methods used to accomplish this feat. It was a logistical nightmare, a declaration that the Roman Empire could bend the entire world to its will, moving mountains of stone just to build a doorway. But look closer at that doorway. There's a strange imperfection hidden in the plain sight. Above the triangular pediment that rests on the columns, you see the faint outline of another higher pediment set 3 meters above it. It's an architectural ghost, a scar left by a near disaster. The Pantheon was designed for columns 50 feet tall, not 40. The reason for the change is still debated by historians, but the most dramatic theory is that the original, even more colossal columns were lost to sea in a shipwreck. Faced with an impossible deadline and a catastrophic loss, potentially they had to move smaller columns across the sea to make it work. Pass through these columns, through the enormous bronze doors, and step inside. The feeling is immediate. The space is harmonious. The proportions are flawless. Your eyes are inevitably drawn upward to the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. For 1,300 years, it was the largest dome of any kind on the planet. Its sheer scale is breathtaking, but its true genius is hidden. They built the dome in layers using a graded recipe. At the thick base, they used heavy travertine rock mixed into the concrete. As the dome curved upwards, they switched to lighter and lighter materials, until at the very crown they used feather-light porous pumice. The dome literally gets lighter the higher it goes. And at its apex, the most radical feature of all, a 9-meter wide hole open to the sky. The oculus. It is the building's only source of light, a celestial spotlight that moves across the interior, marking the passage of day. But it's also a stroke of structural genius. The engineers knew the weakest point of a dome is the top. Their solution was to simply remove it, relieving the immense pressure and allowing the structure to stand seemingly weightless for eternity. When it rains, the water falls directly onto the convex marble floor below, where 22 cleverly hidden drains have been channeling it into Rome's ancient sewers for nearly 2,000 years. The Pantheon's survival is a miracle. It is the third temple to stand on its spot. The first, built by Marcus Agrippa, burned to the ground. A second one was built, only to be destroyed by a lightning strike causing a fire. The Pantheon we see today is the version of Emperor Hadrian, who built it around 126 AD, keeping Agrippa's original inscription on the front. Its greatest secret, however, is not written in stone, but in light. The building is a colossal sundial. On April 21st, the legendary birth of Rome itself, at precisely noon, the sunbeam from the oculus moves to perfectly illuminate the main entrance. Entering the temple at this exact moment, and you are bathed in sunlight. When the Roman Empire fell, the Pantheon should have been stripped for its precious marble and bronze, but it was saved. In 609 AD, it was consecrated as a Christian church, St. Mary and the Martyrs. This conversion was its salvation, protecting it through the ages when other pagan temples were destroyed. Its new life made it a hollow resting place. Here you will find the tomb of the great Renaissance artist Raphael. He adored the Pantheon's perfect harmony and requested it as his final home. His epitaph reads, "Here lies Raphael, by whom nature feared to be outdone while he lived, and when he died, feared that she herself would die." Nearby lie the tomb of the first kings of a unified Italy, Vittorio Emanuele II and Umberto I, transforming the ancient temple once more into a shrine for a new nation. From a temple to all gods, to a church for all martyrs, to a mausoleum for national heroes, the Pantheon has been reborn time and again. Michelangelo reportedly declared it the work of angels, not of men. Its DNA is in the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, the US Capitol, and countless other monuments across the globe.